Now let's get and carry on and talk about the Firebase. So we need to go into the Firebase console. Uh, and let's go and close that, and we want to go to the docs now. Now obviously docs are pretty actually okayish there, not very exciting, not very good there. So let's go to the API reference there, and basically when we work on the database we have got just two things, refs and set, to just write onto the database. We are not talking about reading the database yet, but actually in the web you can just go to the database there, and this should load up, and this is how the database works on. So let me just show you. This is the ref, and the good part about the ref is whatever the argument you pass on, and the best thing actually, it is the best thing about the Firebase is whatever you pass on in the ref, it just says, hey, I'm gonna look up into the database. If I will find that, I'll go inside it. If I will not find it, I'll replace it with what you are saying to me. I repeat it again. If it is going to find the object, then it's going to go inside that object. If it is not going to find that object, it's going to create a new one for you. And how you set that, ref is just to go and read that, and set is just to set the values inside that. Okay, and I'll show you how that works on. Okay, so by the way, I just wanted to show you ref and set, and I got that from the documentation. Now later on, we'll just get back a database snapshot as well, and we'll look out how we can read from the database. It just gives us a promise, and you can work on with that. So no big deal there. It's pretty easy. Documentation is pretty solid in there. Okay, so let's go back there. And by the way, I want to go into the database there, and notice it just doesn't say anything in here. Let's go in here and work on this. Let's remove this to do there. Okay, now what we want to do in here, we want to interact with an object that we have already created, that is Firebase, and we want to access the database there. This is how you access the database. Now we'll be saying ref. Okay, and what we want to do in his here is we'll be creating a new object that will be usurvey. Okay, now at the very first point of time, it's gonna create this because it will not found a usurvey there. So even if I go back there, and where is my survey, and although it will find a usurvey, but this is completely different. This is usurvey-A245C5. you can name that anything as well. Doesn't really matter in this case. And first time it's going to create that object, and we want to create a further node below that, because let me just show you, you can create a node below it just like that with a name and value. I'll just close that and we'll show you there. And we'll be doing this using this dot state, because we want to create a node which is unique every time. Obviously you might have guessed we'll be using UID, and inside that we want to set some things. So this is, now what we'll be giving inside the set is going to be two things, the student name and the answer. Now since these are object, no big deal, so we are going to simply say this dot state dot student name. This is the one, and the second would be answers. There we go. Answers is going to be this dot state dot answers. Okay, that is good. You have heard that, you got that. And the final thing that we'll be doing that you might have almost forgot is to change the state of is submitted from false to true. Very common error. People like to forget these kinds of Boolean value that we have created whenever they actually are done in that. So very common mistake there. So this dot set dot, this dot set state. Finally got it right. And we're going to simply say is submitted is now changed to true. Final thing. Okay, now our application should be ready, and we can remove this killer man there and save that. And let's go back to our React app, and there we go. We are looking it good. We can actually close this console. We don't need this. We are pretty confident that our app should work. We have just walked in very smoothly, very slowly, and this is how the real apps are being created, very mindfully, very slowly. So let's just call this as, what should I call this? Okay, football fans will love this. I think so. So let's go there, and notice it says, hey Ronaldo, it's going great. So what kind of courses you like. Now, let's just say Ronaldo is quite a lot in technology. I love the technology. Who are you? I'm already in a job. And is online learning helpful? For sure it is. And by the way, let's just say Ronaldo, I want to learn, I look for design courses as well. No, I look for technology, and I'm also looking for a job, but I'm happy in my job. So basically we have actually manipulated quite a lot. Let's just do submit and notice, and remember technology in job, and yes, this is what we are looking in the database. Submit that and it says thanks Ronaldo. Good. Go to the Firebase. And notice a use survey is being created. And as I told you, this use survey is completely different. This is completely different. This is, we are accessing using database.ref. Okay. Then we have got use survey. If I open that up, we got a unique ID there. That's good. As I open it, it says I have got answers. That is again an object. I can open that up. It is having technology in job, and yes, and Ronaldo. Let's create another one with the same name, Ronaldo, and you'll love that we have, since we have created everything using unique objects. This is just kind of a very good thing we have done, because another Ronaldo can come in. Okay, let's refresh our app, and let's just say that what we are doing is another Ronaldo came in. And he says, I like marketing courses and I'm looking for a job, and is online learning helpful? Maybe it's helpful. He hasn't tried any online courses before. So let's just hit the submit there. And thanks Ronaldo again, and go to Firebase console. Notice a new object is being created, which is having a unique ID there. Always a good idea to work around with the unique IDs. And notice it's having a completely different. So good thing is later on you can just export these as a JSON. Can work in an Excel sheet, or maybe create another app that uses this JSON data. Quite a lot of things that you can do. By the way, this is the export JSON. So quite a lot of things that we are doing in here. So I think you are pretty amazed with the application. Now I will give you some assignment as well. Okay, you didn't like that, but yes, the assignments are really required. So what I want you to do is just recreate this app. That app should have 5 questions. And what you want to do is almost exactly replicate this, but don't click into this file. So I am expecting that you will be creating exactly the same, and give me a screenshot of your questions as well as your database as well. So give me a quick screenshot of this thing and your app that should have 5 questions. Okay. And I'm looking forward for everybody to submit this assignment, because later on we're going to learn about the authentication, and one bad thing that we have done is modifying the database rule. We will not be doing that in the future, because we'll learn how to authenticate the things. Okay, pretty cool. So let's go into the next video.